Hello everyone. Today you are going to learn about a very important part of our body, that is metathalamus. So this structure helping you to see this beautiful world, your mom and dad, and listening the sweet voice of Lata Mangeshkar ji, Kishore Kumar ji, and yes, of course, my one right now. Don't you think that this topic is very interesting? So let's start the topic. We will see this in introduction, the medial geniculate body, the connection of medial geniculate body, lateral geniculate body, connection of lateral geniculate body, and clinical anatomy. So this is metathalamus. You might be knowing this is a part of diencephalon and belong to pars dorsalis, and already you have gone through this diencephalon with the introduction, and you know that the area just dorsal to this is come under the pars dorsalis, and the area below to this is come into the pars ventralis. So this metathalamus is a part of diencephalon and it's come in pars dorsalis. It consists of this medial geniculate, you can see medial geniculate, and this lateral geniculate body, and they are present in this posterior inferior part of the thalamus. We can see here the thalamus, so we can see the location of medial geniculate and lateral geniculate body, and this is present here. So we can say that it is present in and on the side of this midbrain. You can see here the midbrain present on the side of the midbrains. They are, you can see they are the rounded elevation, and work as a relay station. Clear? So this is the relay station. So they work as a relay station. That is this medial geniculate body. This work for auditory function. This for the auditory, and this lateral geniculate body work for vision. Now let's understand these two bodies on the individual basis. First we talk about this medial geniculate body. In short, I am writing as MGB. So we can see here this MGB, medial geniculate body. This is already I have explained you its position. So this is present posterior inferior to the thalamus. Clear? So this position is clear, or you can say this is present on the side of this midbrain. This is clear. So this medial geniculate body is small rounded elevation. You can see these are the small rounded elevation, and we can see here it is very well related with the superior colliculus and inferior colliculus. See, this is here is the superior colliculus. So this medial geniculate body is present lateral to this superior colliculus, and here is this inferior colliculus. So the inferior colliculus get connected with this medial geniculate body through this structure. You can see this one, this what I am indicating. This is known as inferior brachium. Later you come to know that all the fibers, the afferent fiber which are coming to this inferior colliculus, when they go to this medial geniculate body, they have to run through this inferior brachium. Now I'm going to talk about two most important things of this lecture. First is what to draw. So if it's come in your examination, how you are going to draw this metathalamus. Second, the important question, what is the important question which can be asked in your professional exam. So let's see how to draw this metathalamus. A easy way I am telling you, because this image is little bit complex, so you can't able to draw all this in your exam if it comes in a short duration of the time. So this what I am drawing, this is the thalamus. Clear? So this is the thalamus. You don't have to include that cerebrum in your drawing. So this much you have to draw. See this. Now the important structures are here. This medial geniculate and lateral geniculate. I will show you how to draw these two important structure. Now then just take the initial outline. Just I am taking only the outline of this. Then the outline will be finished, and this is going to finish like this way. Now you can see I have finished all this outline, and you can clearly see here. Now we can see here that the same one that I have drawn. See, now just label all this structure. So this is thalamus, this is inferior brachium, here is the superior colliculus, this one is the inferior colliculus, this one is medial geniculate body, this one is lateral geniculate body. Now we can see the structure is very well drawn, and finally write down this one as a midbrain, and it will take very little time when you draw in the exam this way. In exam it's generally come as a short notes, and question can be asked first. See, the question can be asked as a short notes over this metathalamus. Then at that time you have to describe metathalamus in brief, all the part, that medial geniculate, lateral geniculate, everything you have to describe in a short with this diagram. And it can be asked only specifically over this lateral geniculate body, and then it come as a lateral geniculate body. Then you have to describe about the lateral geniculate body with its connection, that I am going to show you in the coming slide. Please come out of the exam mood and focus over the connection of this medial geniculate body. We will see the connection. This connection I will going to explain you in an easy way. So before I talk about this connection, already you have gone through this image. So we have discussed this image during the lecture of internal capsule. Clear? So that time when I was talking regarding the internal capsule, I have explained you about, you can see here is the medial geniculate body and the lateral geniculate body. So this connection from this medial geniculate body, here the fibers, they run this way through the part of this internal capsule. And which part of the internal capsule? This part is sublentiform part of the internal capsule, and this way it run as the external, this is run as an acoustic radiation. Clear? And this is lateral geniculate body, other is the lateral geniculate body, and this part, the connection here, it runs through the retrolentiform part of the internal capsule, and this is known as optic radiation. Clear? Already we have discussed in the internal capsule. Now understand the connection here. So in the ear we talked about this. In the ear we have talked about this. Say suppose this is left side of the ear, and here this is right side of the ear. So there we have discussed about the organ of Corti. Clear? This is an organ of the cochlear nerve which is coming out of this organ of Corti. First it will reach to the AV, anteroventricular cochlear nucleus. In short, I have written here AVCN. This nerve fiber will come to this way to this superior olivary nucleus. From this superior olivary nucleus, here the information can directly go, you can see it can directly go to the medial geniculate body. You can see can directly go by this lateral lemniscus or via through this inferior colliculus. Clear? Then these fiber here passes through this inferior brachium. I have shown you where is inferior brachium earlier. So this the information here it's come to this medial geniculate body. Now this medial geniculate body, I have explained you that this is a relay station. Okay, now this relay station communicate with the pulvinar. Pulvinar is a nucleus of thalamus. This is the largest nucleus of the thalamus. So it communicate with the pulvinar, and the information which is here in this relay station, it get further refined with the pulvinar. Now the information moves up ahead. Now from this superior olivary nucleus to this relay station up to here, the fibers, they are known as an afferent fiber. Now finally from this relay station, the information now have to reach here in the cortex area, in this cerebral cortex, and this area is known as this Brodmann's area 41 and 42. This is also known as primary auditory area, and this information ascend up through this acoustic radiation, and which we have seen in this internal capsule is acoustic radiation, and this is also known as geniculocortical fiber, and this connection from this relay station to the cortex area is known as efferent connection. Efferent. So this efferent fibers. So this about the connection of this medial geniculate body. Now let's say this lateral geniculate body. So we can see here this lateral geniculate body. So this is a small ovoid prominence, you can see, visible at the terminal end. This is, you can see here. Now when this view you will see, what you will see here, so this is the optic tract. This is the optic tract. So when just see the optic tract and trace this optic tract, and you find here this lateral geniculate nucleus or this lateral geniculate body. Clear? So they are visible at the terminal end. So this is the terminal end of what? Terminal end of this optic tract. So they are present at the terminal end of the optic tract and rest here. So where? So this part where it rests is the inferior pulvinar surface. Clear? This is where it's resting is the inferior pulvinar surface, and this is present and clear where it resting. And when you see here, and then you can clearly say that this is present anterior to this medial geniculate body. You can see it is present anterolateral to medial geniculate body. So it is present anterolateral to medial geniculate body. So this is and when you compare the size with this medial geniculate body, then you will see that the size of this medial geniculate body is more than this lateral geniculate body. Okay, clear? And this lateral geniculate body, clear, it get connected here, it get connected with this superior colliculus. So superior colliculus is making a connection with this lateral geniculate body, and this is making a connection via this superior brachium. Clear? This make a connection with the superior brachium, and you already know this inferior colliculus make connection with this medial geniculate body via inferior brachium. Clear? So please be focused and always keep in your mind this thing, because most of the time the student get confused which superior colliculus or inferior colliculus making a connection with which one. Then lateral geniculate body and its connection. So about the connection, so this connection a little bit already I have discussed during the lecture of this functional areas. In the functional area, the area number 17, that time already have explained you this pathway, and the more detail I am going to talk over it in the coming lecture. That lecture is over this visual pathway. Clear? In this I am going to talk about the detail of this, so I'm not going to discuss this thing here. So last is this clinical anatomy. So you might be knowing already this image I've described you during the internal capsule, but still see this, you see here, this is an, and this one is going as an acoustic radiation, this one as an optic radiation. So this is going to this part of the internal capsule. This part is the one, this one is going as a sublentiform part, and this one is going to the retrolentiform part, and this is supplied by, this sublentiform is supplied by the posterior cerebral branch and this anterior choroidal branch, whereas this retrolentiform part is supplied by this posterior cerebral. You can see the branches of this posterior cerebral as well as anterior choroidal. So any lesion in these artery, what it going to do, it going to affect this acoustic radiation and optic radiation, will finally result in what? Effect in the vision and effect in the hearing. So this how we finishes the lecture over this metathalamus. I hope you understood well. You have any doubt or a questions, you can put in the comment box. Thank you.